is going to go on until the end of this meeting. After this meeting is over, I will shut the server down and relaunch it with, I'm going to reset all the leaderboards and relaunch right after this meeting. So that will begin our official competition. But if anybody's curious, we can take a quick look at what happened the first week. So here's our week 1 leaderboards. Now these are meaningless. We do not, doesn't matter. All these things are getting reset to 0 immediately after this meeting. So this is by player ID. So if you know your player ID, you can see where you stand. And we do have the template bots in there. There's 3 of them that played a bunch of games. And so I found this is accurate as of about 20 minutes ago is when I pulled this. So if anybody's curious, yeah, so I will admit that my bot is this top one, 3154, that's me. I focused entirely on the spy master role. I did nothing with the operative. So you can see I'm right back where I started on the operative side, right at 1500. 80 and 81 is my win-loss record there. But there's a few other people who've participated. I am not eligible for the prizes, by the way. So you don't have to worry about beating me. And neither is Yuri. So, and then the template bots, they played a bunch of games. And they did not do so well on the spy master side. So their rankings are much lower. But yeah, so that's how the first week played out. Any questions, comments? If not, we can open it up for general discussion. How did everybody find the competition? Anybody have any difficulties? Any questions?
So you published endpoints where we can see logging and the score, but do you know if we can see them through the web? Like without actually like doing any coding?
Yeah, so some of it, let me, so let's see, Heroku, wait, no, it's TWiML Codenames. And then like you can pull up the leaderboards. So it's in a JSON format, so this isn't super readable.
Okay.
But yeah, you can pull up the leaderboards. You can pull up, I think we're roughly in the 600s. Oh, this is gonna ask me for a player ID and key. I don't think this works without a player ID and key. Yeah. I'm not gonna type my player ID and key in, sorry. What else can you pull without, let's see. You can pull the number of active clients. You can pull completed games. Yeah, so you can pull completed games. We'll just give you a list. So there's 693-ish games that have been played in the first week. You can find games by person. So you can go to 3154. You can find all my games. Here's a list of all the games that I played in. I think that's about it for all that you can pull without providing your player ID and key. But if you did want to pull something with that required your player ID and key, you could pull like, say I wanted to pull the log for this game, 695. I could do player ID, or sorry, question mark. Player ID equals 3154, and then key equals whatever. And I think if you type that in, I think that'll work. You should be able to pull it that way. Again, it's going to be in a JSON format, so not super readable. It's better to pull it using Python or some other.
If you open the JSON file in Firefox, it's a little better readable.
Okay, yeah. How's it going for everybody else? Does anybody have a strategy, a plan? How are people going along? Are their bots done? Are they still work in progress, tweaking? How's everybody doing?
Okay, so I did write my own approach for the first 2 or 3 days, and it did kind of okay. But then I figured, okay, since most of the games that are happening are actually against the template bot, I started from scratch and actually, yeah, kind of started exploiting the template guesser a little bit. So just look and see what the template bot will guess if I give this clue. And this approach seems to work fine as long as most of the template bots are playing.
Yeah, that was basically my approach as well. I made my spy master give the clue for the maximum number of words that the operative would guess, the template bot operative. So it probably doesn't work as well with anybody who's modified the template bot.
Yeah, and it's not really an AI approach. It's a little bit hacked, but yeah, that was my idea as well.
Anybody else want to share? Anybody having any challenges getting started? I know there was some discussion on the Slack channel earlier today about like, okay, where do I begin? So I posted the link to the paper that we used to build the template bots. Has some ideas in it. Anybody have any questions about how the next week is going to go, or how scores are, how the leaderboard is going to be assessed at the end, how prizes will be awarded?
Yeah, I'll ask about that. So I haven't had, admittedly, much of a chance to jump into the code today. I just signed up for the competition this morning. So I haven't, had much experience to comment on my progress or anything like that, but just wondering about scoring. So I understand like the ELO system as it pertains to like how you rank up and things like that. But when it comes to actually like evaluating and like determining the winners, I assume it's not based solely on like the ELO that you're able to rank up in the next, week, right? Like, because you mentioned that you could just play a bunch of games against a template bot, and like certainly your ELO rating wouldn't go up as quickly if you were just playing solely against template bots. But I was just wondering if you were factoring that into the scoring somehow, such that someone couldn't just train their bot solely against templates and never play any real people and just win, or I mean, you know what I mean, user coded agents rather than the template.
Yeah, so the key there is you don't control who your partner or your opponents are. So your bot will get randomly matched up with whoever is logged into the server at the time. So over the course of the first week, there weren't a whole lot of people logged in. So the template bot filled in quite a bit. So for most of the duration of the first week, there was maybe 1 or 2 actual competitors logged in. And so to get any sort of game at all, we backfilled the remaining slots with the template bot. For this second week, I'm hoping we'll get more activity. And so the template bot won't fill in as often.
Okay. But as far as like the actual evaluation, the only thing that determines the winner is that ELO that you're able to generate or able to rack up by the end of the competition.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So we have a threshold set of you have to have 100 games played to be eligible for the prizes for the leaderboard. And so over the course of 100 games, the ELO should start to approach some sort of asymptote, we would hope.
I have a question. Do you think you're going to update the template board or not?
Yeah. So yeah, Yuri, thanks for that. So Yuri sent me some potential modifications to the template bot earlier today. So right now the template bot only seems to be generating clues for one when it's the spy master. And so Yuri sent me some changes. I haven't had a chance to look through them yet, but Yuri says that they allow the template bot to give clues for more than one. So I think I'll pull those in right after this meeting. And then that should make the template bot a little more competitive and a little bit harder to just beat up on the template bot to increase your score. Unless anybody has any objections. All right, well, it seems like not the super chattiest group today. So I guess we can end the discussion there unless anybody else has anything they want to chat about. This is just a check-in, so go ahead, Yuri.
You're also going to replace the word list, right? Or
yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so the word list for week 2 is going to be completely different than the word list for week 1. So you will want to pull, if you're using the template bot, you'll want to pull the new pickle file off the repo, which I will push right after this meeting. So the new pickle file will have all the new words in it. The new word list I'll push as well with 400 new words. So yeah, you'll want to pull both of those if you're using either of those in your bot. That's a good point. Thanks, Jerry. All right, last chance. All right, good luck, everyone. We will see you back here next week with the official leaderboards and find out who wins. I'm excited. Thanks.
Thank you, Daniel. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dan.
Mm-hmm.